Hello and welcome to another special Soul Talks book review edition. This is not actually really a book review because, to be honest, I am still reading Professor Ojedokun's book, I Found My Voice. But I don't want to not share this right now, because I'm hoping that if you listen, which you are, thank you, that you would be inspired to go and get yourself a copy. And I don't know how to say this. I'm sharing this so that you do go and get a copy, but not because it's going to put money in Prof's pocket or anything, because I even doubt that's why he wrote it, but because it's just a good book. It fills me with nostalgia. I don't know him personally, in that we haven't met, although through our interactions on LinkedIn, I do actually feel like I know him in a way. And through reading this book, I just feel like we have a kindred spirit. I can't explain it. Our stories are different, but yet so similar. We grew up in different parts of Lagos and Nigeria, but I feel such a connection to his story. And what I love the most about this book, and why I just said, you know what, Salt, just share what you can share right now. Don't wait until you finish the book, because first of all, no one knows tomorrow, and life is too short. And I don't want to hold back what I already have in my heart about this book until I get to the end, because it's a good book and it's a good read, and I don't want to rush it. But I don't want to hold back this sharing till then. And I feel in my spirit that if once I share this now, then I can just relax and, read the rest of the book and then see what I still have on my heart to share at the end. So first of all, I have to say, Prof, thank you for writing this book. I see what you're doing, at least from my perspective. It's your story, but it's actually also Nigeria's story. I see you trying to use your story and how you've journeyed through the ups and downs of it. You draw a parallel from your story to the story of Nigeria that gives us hope. Because look at you today. Look at where you are and what you're doing. If we look at the trajectory of your life and where you are now, then we can have hope for Nigeria. Thank you for doing that, Prof. Honestly, from the very beginning, I think I had told you right from reading, the introduction, how excited I was to see familiar names. And I can't lie, every page I turn, I'm waiting to see if there's somebody I will know again. But even when I don't, I'm just so taken in by your journey and by your vulnerability. Prof, honestly, I think you're one of the very few people, a guy, that has written a book that I feel has had no qualms in showing the real you and where you're coming from. Right from even the simplest things about how poorly you did in school before you found your place, sharing about how you dealt with physical illness and all of that, and yet here you are standing. Just the authenticity of your voice. I like that, and I commend you for that. And at least we know that you're not one of the parents that tells his children that they were always first in class. because you didn't do that. But to hear you speak, because I listened to your speech, that's up there on YouTube, your inaugural speech, I think it was, as the vice chancellor. Forgive me if I'm getting what the speech was, but what's more important is how you delivered that speech and how you spoke and how you made that kind of a speech on that platform not just about the formal facts of it, how you wove your personal story into it, how you recognize the people in your life as you delivered the speech, still staying on point and on message. Thank you for that, and well done. And I think that's why that speech is getting so much attention and engagement on YouTube, because people love to hear the personal side of a person, because that's where the connection lies. That's where the connection lies. I am enjoying your book. Honestly, your stories about, your mom and how she started taking care of the family after your dad passed, the tales of you in Unilag and then your mom having the shop and all of that. It's not my story, but I still relate. I still relate to what you're sharing in terms of the background that we've had, and the journey that we've traveled to where we are today. No such thing as a silver spoon, although we have connections here and there to royalty, to people who were princes or people who were in the royal family of our villages and our towns. I could connect with that. I could connect with, all the children in the neighborhood and you knowing them, and them, some being Yoruba, some being Igbo, some being Northern. I could relate to that. And while you were sharing the story of your childhood, in the different addresses and different places that you lived, all throughout, I was running parallels with my childhood at 26A Saratu Street, Agege, and at one point I was like, it's almost as if we use the same straw man to write our books. I don't know if you may not know, Shola, the story of us, is almost written kind of like here and there, different aspects of my life, different parts of my life, and we've written similar stories. So it's not a linear story, if you like, at least as far as I've read right now. You've taken us into different parts of your life, different times, your childhood in the UK, being born in the UK, and then coming back, and your life then, and then your dad passing, and then being with your mom, and then going to stay with this person, then going to school, and the love of your life, and it connects with. I connect with it, and I'm enjoying the read so much. But at the back of my mind, I was very conscious that I wanted to share something that will also open this book up and make it, and hopefully get other people to go check it out. But I didn't want that desire to make me rush through the book. So yesterday I was thinking that, what, Salt, you can go ahead and share your thoughts on it so far, so that you don't hold back that opportunity from other people to go and check it out, and then you can just come back and enjoy reading the book, and then you can then share later when you're done. Maybe that time I will do it in a written format, and then just link back to this podcast. But so Prof, again, thank you so much for writing this book. Thank you for being so real. Thank you for teaching us as well. I'm picking up a lot about, Nigeria, about Lagos, things that I didn't really know. You've really interspersed your life story with nuggets of information, and bits and pieces of our history, in there, which I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying learning about these things. I'm enjoying knowing the people you know and getting to meet the different people that you know or you're connected to. And I'm enjoying the thrill of seeing if one name will pop up that I will know. So far, a couple of names or three have popped up, that I'm like, oh, I know this person, I know that person. And I'm going to see who else comes up before I read the book that I do know. It's funny, we chatted at some point and I thought you were somebody that I knew because your name sounded so familiar. But so far, no, it's not so, but we now know each other now, and I am getting to know you better through your book. And I think through our interactions on LinkedIn, you're getting to know me better. I'm so glad I bought your book. I was so surprised to see that it was so big and really well done. And yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I don't want to rush it. So that's why I am sharing this now. Ladies and gentlemen, honestly, if you know Prof, if you've grown up with him, you will want to buy this book because you're going to see a slice of your own history in there as well. If you know Prof, but you didn't grow up with him, you're going to want to buy this book and read it to get to know where he's coming from, his journey, and how he has become the person he is today. There's such resilience and depth of character in this gentleman because it has not been an easy journey. And it's, for me, just supports my stance that some of us, the character that we have today has been refined through the process of hot fire. And I think most characters that have any depth to them, there has to be this process that we go through. And it's good to see the process he's gone to and where it got him to where he is today. And that should be encouraging for, any young person coming after to say, look, okay, I'm maybe going through it now, but I can use this gentleman's life as a source of encouragement that I'm still going to get to where God has ordained I will get through. In fact, it may be him permitting this because he wants me to be a person of integrity, a person of deep character, a person who is resilient, a person who is wise, a person who is empathetic, a person who, has grown up through a process that makes them a person of integrity and a person that can stand up and be like Prof is being, one who knows that it's important to use their voice. He has found his voice through his process, and he's letting his voice speak out, not just to tell his story, but as encouragement for us Nigerians that our country can be good. Our country can indeed be the giant, the lion of Africa that we call ourselves. We should be able to together work to bring forth the Nigeria that we want. And I can see him going towards that, trying to share a roadmap of how we can get there, and individually and as a collective. But I guess that I will see what he has to say as I go on in the story. But so far, I've gotten to the point where I can see what he's saying. He's saying, at least as far as I understand it, here is my life. See what I've gone through and where I am today. If this can be my story, it can also be the story of Nigeria. I love that. It's very hope-inspiring. So, Prof, thank you for giving this book to us. I'm sharing this now in the hope that others will be encouraged to go out there and get your book. It's a classic, guys. It's a kind of book that you want in your library, on your coffee tables, in your homes, to give to your children, really. And it's not about purchases on Amazon or wherever. It's about putting out there something that is about our country to inspire not just ourselves, but those coming behind us. Get your copy. Get your copy. And apart from that, Professor Ojedokun is doing such great work, out there in Rwanda. That is a great thing he's doing there. Let us support him. Let us show him that we see him by going out there to get a copy of this book, I Found My Voice. And let's read what he means by that, and let him inspire us to also find our voices. Even if you believe you already have found your voice, check that your voice is speaking out what God has ordained your voice to be speaking out, and you're just not there speaking out somebody else's message. Prof is being very authentic and on message for himself based on his story. That is how we all ought to be. Each of us has our own voice, and we have our own story to tell for our own lives and our families, and for Nigeria as our dear beloved country, or wherever you come from reading this. It's a book for all people, for your lives, for your communities, for your nations, wherever you are. Prof is encouraging us to see our lives as something that should encourage us to go out there and speak out in the best interest of the communities and nations that we call our own. For me, I think that is what the whole point of him writing this book is all about. On top of the fact that he's sharing his personal journey as a way to inspire us to never give up hope, and to inspire us to be genuine and to be our real selves, but to always know that at the end of the day, there will always be one common thread running through our stories: the fact that God is always with us. Even at points where he didn't think so and he couldn't see God working. I love that he's honest about that. He says that. But at the end of the day, I have never heard him anywhere, at least as far as I know, and I'm conscious of it, say that he gave up on God. I haven't seen that anywhere. Maybe it's coming, but at least so far. But knowing him as I know him on LinkedIn, even if a point came where that was what he felt, that was not his truth. His truth, like my truth, and like I hope your truth is that we always know, whether we feel it or not, that God is always with us, because his promise is that he will never, ever leave us nor forsake us. Please go check out I Found My Voice by Professor Ojedokun. Okay, thank you so much for listening thus far. I'll see you on the other side. This is Salt here. I've been talking. Stay lifted and hold fast to your saltiness. Remember, I Found My Voice by Professor Ojedokun. It's up there on Amazon. I'm going to link him to this post. You can DM him if there are other ways you can get the book, but I got mine off of Amazon, and it's a very interesting and funny read, but very inspirational, very instructive, and very hope inspiring for our lives and for the lives of our country, Nigeria. Okay, toodles. God bless you.